Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob here for the Great Wall of Comics. The other week was WonderCon. I went there with my fellow Black Sheep members, and I picked up a book or two. Just a few. Let's go. All right, so here we are. Oh my God, that is so big. That's what she said. WonderCon was magnificent. I know that a lot of people are saying it was kind of light or this or that. Here's my thing. There were two other large cons going on. C2E2 had moved theirself up, and Planet Comic Con in Kansas was going on at the same time, so the artists were split. Artist Alley was a little bit light as far as some of the big name artists, but there were still plenty of names there and plenty of people for me to get commissions from. On top of that, the vendors, comic book vendors, were there in droves, or at least good enough for this size of a con. Some of them did have split inventory. I heard several of them mention that they were, half their stuff was here and half their stuff was in Chicago at C2E2. But that doesn't mean it was any less of a con. I still managed to pick up a ton of great books. I spent my budget. Matter of fact, I spent my money like I was going to Heroes Con, because I'm not going to Heroes Con this year, unfortunately. But I got to hang, first of all, with the homies from the Black Sheep Comic Club. 10 deep, we rolled in there. It is our home con, so it's about a little bit less than a third of the club was there for our first WonderCon together as a club. It was great fun. Before I get into the books, let's roll a little bit of footage from the convention to give you a taste of what it was like, and then we're going to get into this haul. there you go. Good taste of what the con was. A little bit of everything from indie alley to the normal art, pop culture artists to craftsmen to there was tons of cosplay. Just a little bit of everything. It's what I like. From a mixed media con, it had enough Comic Con booths to make, or comic book booths to make it worth my time being there, and a lot of artist alley nonetheless. Let's kick it off with that artist alley. Like I said, I've seen some people complain about there weren't a lot of artists. Well, I think it was okay. I set up 4 commissions ahead of time, and I picked up several commissions while I was there on the spot, and only one of them am I still waiting on, and that's fine. First up, we'll start with this one here from Jevin Loop. This is a Spider Ham. What more can you say? I reached out to Jevin ahead of time to set this up, set something up to be a little bit extra beyond his normal sketch cover, and I get this beautiful Spider Ham. I love it. He does his own book called Nuke Chicken. I knew that doing the anamorphic character was going to be perfect for him and his style, and I was down instantaneously because I needed a Spider-Ham for my collection. This, by the way, is the new way I'm going to be doing my sketch covers for a while, since CBCS is shutting down, and I used to send these all in to get the art labels. I'm using now a what's called Comic Cape from Comic Capsule Guys. I'm just getting a Silver Age Comic Cape and sliding it. It's basically a UV protective clear backer board, except you put it in the front. So it gives it a nice hard shell, and then I'm just using the regular boards on the back, unless it's a wraparound, in which case I'm using double clears. Then Kevin Caez, he's doing a piece for us for the Comics Curing Cancer book this year. I also hit him up to do a piece for me and asked him if he wouldn't mind doing myself a Bane, for I am missing a Bane. Unfortunately, I was all out of the City of Bane sketch cover variants, but that's okay. Still killed it with this Bane sketch cover here. And all these, by the way, super reasonable. Aside from the last one of these, I didn't pay more than, well, actually, no, I take it back. This one here was a little bit over $200, but for the most part, the rest of them were all under $200. And the last book, this is Stephen Gordon. I asked if he would do a Phantom, and he said, yeah, I can do a Phantom. And then he threw in there the dog as well as an extra bonus. Just turned out absolutely great. No need to do color with this one, although the color would be good. I don't know. There's something about the all purple would probably just kind of make it look a little bit weird. There's nice with the classic pulp hero to go with the black and white grayscale as well. So there you go. Steve Gordon, the Phantom, ripping that one off. This is one of these fun things. I bring a variety of just different covers, and the Phantom was one I happened to pack with me. And it's all about trying to find that right artist to go with it. Now, the original artist I gave the Phantom as an option to was this gentleman, Daryl Skelton. Daryl Skelton's been doing comics and illustrating comics for a long time. He told lots of great stories about Jack Kirby and some of the classic greats, and he considered doing the Phantom, but I had also given him the Batman, and he decided he wanted to do Batman. And here we are with the Whirly Bat. Now, if you're not familiar with the Whirly Bat, that's okay. I forgive you. It's been a while since we've seen it in comics, but the Whirly Bat was basically a little chair with a helicopter blade that Batman and Robin could go around Gotham and watch for crime. So being the old school gentleman that Daryl Skelton is, he decided to do Batman with the Whirly Bat. And I love this. Is a nice, beautiful mix of watercolor and everything else that he did. Just looks phenomenal. Great job. Thank you so much. Now, this one was not a commission. This one was just happened to be walking by. I was talking to a good friend, Bobby Breed, who he's been working with us with Comics Curing Cancer. And I was talking with him and I saw on the corner of my eye, I saw on this desk, there's this book. And I said, hey, Bobby, what's up with that book over there? And he goes, oh, I keep forgetting about that. I did that a while ago, and I keep forgetting to put it out, and I brought it with me, but I forgot to cover it up or put it out and stuff. And I said, well, how much is that going to cost me? And he kind of chuckled. I don't know, $200. And I said, done. Here we go. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yes, Bobby Breed, Art of Breed, phenomenal. Let's go. This is awesome. I love my creature-based, the classic creature horror films. Those are my favorite. And I love another character who harkens back to the days of old, even though he's a modern character, is the Rocketeer. I do enjoy getting a good Rocketeer cover. This one, Peter Smith, he does a lot of Disney illustrations and such, and does some great work with a lot of the animated Batman series stuff. He's been doing some covers for the Universal Monster Creatures, does so much good stuff, and challenge him here with the Rocketeer, and he kills it. Great classic Rocketeer. Let's go. And the last of my sketch covers, this one was also the first sketch cover I set up to be done. I reached out to Sean Forney, and who's also done stuff with us for Comic Screen Cancer. You'll notice a familiar reference here. I do like to support the artists who support Comics Curing Cancer. So I will generally reach out to them when I get an opportunity to have them do commissions for me, because they deserve it. They're doing something nice for Comics Curing Cancer. I want to pay them back. This one, we worked out a deal. Now, this is the most expensive of the ones I did. This was basically, this was about about $500 commission. This is full color, wraparound, multiple characters. We've got Batman and on the rooftops facing Clayface. And so we get this Clayface starts on the backside. He's got that big old mace fist going, wrapping around to the front where he's fighting Batman. And just let's go. That's a great cover, full color, rooftops, or there you go. I guess maybe there you go. He's coming from the roofs. There's our angle. Batman's coming down, diving down off the rooftops. Well, we got him. Clayface fighting him. So here you go. That's also the double clear backerboard style. Awesome stuff. Now, before we get into the big books, I picked up books for you guys. I don't intend to, but when I'm there and I see the right books, I'm going to pick up some books for the comic book giveaway bin. And this, of course, is the bin that I feature on only Slabs on Saturdays. We'll go quickly here. First Omega Supreme, Transformers. We picked that up. This one here, a whole mess of firsts, issue 17 here. First appearance of Blaster, Power Glide, Cosmo, Sea Spray, Warpath, Beachcomber, Perceptor, Straxus, Kickback, Bombshell, Shrapnel, Dirge, and Ramjet. All first appearances here in issue 17 into the giveaway bin. Then I found a bunch of beautiful, these are just gorgeous, condition Captain Marvel books that I was able to pick up for less than $10 a piece. Most of these were $6. I think this one was $8. This is Carol Danvers getting her powers. These are solid quality books. Here we've got issue number 9. These are all going into the giveaway bin. Silver Age goodness, he says. See, there's new powers being received or being acquired by Captain Marvel here in issue 11. We got issue 6. And here you go, issue 29. He's chosen to become the protector of the universe, and we get a couple cameos in here, as well as the origin of the Eternals and the Olympians. And then the last book I picked up for the giveaway bin, the movie adaptation, Forbidden Planet. And you know I love this book. I love to give away books that I love, and this one is going to be going home to somebody that you can bank on. All right, now we pick up some books for me, some run fillers. For the most part, I didn't do a ton of digging. I did do some Web of Spider-Man 16. I was really kind of put off at one point. I was looking through one gentleman's bins and it pulled a bunch of Captain America books. Thought I was going to finish my run. And when it came time and I got a stack of books, it added up to be like $95 or something. And I think I asked him if he'd do 75 and he goes, "Oh no, I'll do it." Like, I don't know. It was five, maybe it was 90 and I asked for 80 and he said I'd do 85, something like that. It was $5 difference. And I was like, "Oh, you're going to play this game over $5?" And I'm sure he was thinking the same thing, but I put them away. And then once I got done putting the books away, he's like, "Oh, well, $5, I guess we could do it." And I said, "I put the books away already. We're done. Forget it." My man Comic Web had himself a Rocketeer book I didn't have, so I picked up this one, nice little Rocketeer by Dave Stevens, as I like picking up these books when I can. John Boy Myers is there. He was there at the booth, had a bunch of his books out there. This one, a beautiful, Amazing Spider-Man. This is, does it say which issue it is? I can't quite read it. It doesn't, everything's covered up. But we got our COA on the back, limited print run, this undressed variant, signed John Boy Myers. He did the blue with the white outline to match the inverse of the spider webbing on the cover. Just looks beautiful. So yeah, John Boy Myers. Went saw, well, we were there talking to Peter Smith. My wife noticed, was with me. She's a huge Maleficent fan and noticed this Maleficent and said, "Do we have that?" And I said, "No." And she goes, "We do now." And she put it on my pile. And of course, he signed it for us. Then, as I mentioned, he's been working on variant covers for the Universal Monster books. So we picked up a couple that I didn't have. We picked up the Invisible Man. And some of these are sticking together here. This Dracula, the black and white special. And then, okay, now we're into some more just pickups for the run. And I found a different booth that had some of the Captain Americas I needed. So I picked up 213. I picked up 229. What's nice is this booth that had these, you can see them, they're tagged, you know, $8, $12, whatever, but we're in a bin. They were all 50% off. And then on top of that, once I got a bunch of them together, then they discounted that even more. So it was really like something like 60% off, which was beautiful. Picking up some nice 7.0, 7.5, you know, VF minus run fillers for my Captain America run. I'm just going to flip through these pretty quick here because none of them are keys. And I have quite a few books here, obviously. And I got to be conscious of your guys' time watching this video. Here, 239. 240. Incidentally, Carnage is not in this book. And what is this? 245. 246. And I spotted this annual number 2. This book, it was $8. I had to pick this one up. Not only is it super clean, but Captain America, and he's fighting a Nazi robot. Come on. I don't know what world you live in where you can pass up Captain America fighting a Nazi robot. Another booth I stopped by, I saw on his wall, he had a bunch of Spidey super stories, the Easy Reader Electric Company books, and I am now deciding that's a run I need to have. So I'm looking for them in, you know, fine plus better condition. He had a bunch. I rejected a couple, but then we picked out several here. We had issue 52. This one might be the worst in the lot with that pretty noticeable spine tick there. Here we got issue 49. He's got a mustache on Spidey. He looks like me. Here we go, 44 and 43 and 42. Get the kingpin there. And then the last one we got was issue number 3, which incidentally I thought was pretty interesting because we had all the way here in issue 43, we've got the Ringmaster in both of them. We've got this cannon, but we've different between the human cannonball versus Spidey being shot out of the cannon. So that was fun. Those Spideys, I picked those up. That was another interesting story where they were $15 a piece. Picked them up. They added up to be $90. I went to the guy. I said, 75. He goes to his dad, asks his dad. His dad comes back and says 80. And I'm like, again, I'm going, here we are with $5. And I go walk over to the dad to talk to him rather than continue to talk to the son, who's obviously can't make a decision. And I look at him and I said, hey, over $5, really? He's all, hey man, over $5, really? And I said, okay, you got me, fine. Half, 77. And I put my hand out and he looked at me for a second and he thought about it and he shook my hand. I went back to pay the son and the son I give the son $80 and he says, thank you. And I said, no, you owe me $3, kid. And he said, what? My dad agreed to that? I said, he did. Oh, wow. So there you go. I was happy. $77 for a stack of Spidey super stories. Another one I was happy for is this right here. Of Thunder, we've got ourselves, this is a independent book from Pork Chop Express Productions. Was a Kickstarter going on. Nathan Price and Carl Bourne. I backed it, and this is I just love this cover, this Moa. The whole concept, first of all, is like a little Hawaiian girl finds Thor's hammer. And of course, Thor's hammer there is all done up in more tribal Hawaiian style setup. So there we go. Here we got her. She's just carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. This shit is heavy, no doubt. This was a Fan Fusion exclusive book. I was so glad that he had a couple copies left because I needed that. I also picked up some original art out of that book. Here we go. Here's our original page. It's a one-pager. They were using this page here on so much of the promotional art that the fact that it was available for me to select meant that this had to be the page to pick of this little girl picking up Thor's hammer before what goes on in the book. Now, I'm not an OA guy, so why did I get this? And look at this. This is some great work. Pencils. Very simply, you guys know me. Comics Curing Cancer. I'm going to partner this up with a copy of the book, and we'll be auctioning that off during Comics Curing Cancer in October. Now, also for Comics Curing Cancer, while I was there, I did pick up a piece of art and here we are. Whew. That Hulk, that's also going to Comics Curing Cancer. All right, back into the books for me. This one, Challenges of the Unknown. I didn't pick this up. One of my Black Sheep buddies picked this up and gifted it to me. I don't know who. They handed it to my wife to give it to me, and she didn't remember anybody's names. So I have my feelings that I think I know who this is from, and hopefully one of them will sound off below and let me know so I can properly thank them. But I do collect very passively, but I do pick up Challengers of the Unknown from time to time, especially when they're in nice condition like this. So I thank you very much. Now we're going to get into some of the bigger books as we wrap this up here. These next two books, I picked these up together. the same box that had all those Captain Marvel books, the Silver Age Captain Marvel books for $8 a piece. I picked these next two books up. The tag price was, before I worked out a deal, was combined $38 for these two books. And originally, I was thinking, I get at that price, I'll throw them in the giveaway bin. But then I realized that that's a little bit excessive for the giveaway bin. And no, I'll hang on to these books and be very happy with the first of them. Issue Conan 23, the first appearance of Red Sonja. Now we do have a big crease right here. So it is a mid-grade book because of that. But other than that, crease presents phenomenally. First appearance of Red Sonja. Then we get issue 24, the first cover appearance of Red Sonja. Just couldn't believe I picked up both of these books. This one is probably a 5.5 because maybe a 6.0 because of the crease. This one, a solid 7.5, maybe an 8.0. I couldn't believe it, picking them both up for $38 before my final bundle discount. Insane. Another book, I'm super flipping through a bunch of books, picked this up. It's a low grade book. It's probably like a 3.0, but I love my monsters. A lot of the original monsters, you get those Strange Tales. I love my robots. Here we've got Meccano in Strange Tales issue 86. Banger. Before our Marvel days, we're talking good old classic Strange Tales, giant freaking robot coming at you. Yes. Oh, that, my friends, is sex appeal. Yeah. And of course, look at that. Kirby and Heirs. Kirby freaking robots. QFE. That book picked up for $75. All right, let's put these last two. Let's see, these next two, I'm going to put these last because they were the last acquisition. Some slabs. These next two, I bundled them. The bundle was my friend throughout this con. Harley Yee, I picked a nice bundle from. First up, he had a box. This was on my list for 2025, Mr. Miracle #4. This is the first appearance of Big Barda. As I'm looking through a bunch of slabs, he says, oh, hey, all those just came in. I don't have them priced. If you're interested in one, let me know the price. So I pulled this one out. I had looked on my own. I saw what its price was. He goes and gives me the price exactly on. He looks up the same market stuff and gave me the market price, the last sold price. And he says, oh, it'd be $284. And I'm all okay. And then I said, now how about if we look at that book up there? And I've done this to Harley now a couple times, and it's his own fault, really. But if you've never seen Harley's, he's not the tallest of gentlemen, but he has these displays that are super tall, and they always seem to overlap. The last couple times now, he's had a book I'm interested in. It's been the book at the very top and behind another layer. So he's got to be super careful when he's getting the book and he's climbed up on a chair, reaching to pull this book down, that he doesn't knock over the other display. But another book that was on my list for this year's pickups was Strange Tales issue 135, the first appearance of Nick Fury. Nick Fury book. This one he had tagged at 300, so he had the two of them at 584. We bundled them at 550, and that was fair enough for me. We were basically at market price on both books at that point because this one was just under $300. So combined for 550, I was fine with that, and was super happy. Another book, this next book was another one that's on my, actually all the rest of these books are all books that are on my 25 books that I gathered to pick up in 2026. Now forgive me for a second here. We're going to go on a little tangent. It's really important when you're looking at books to keep in mind that pricing changes, and these guys don't always have the right pricing, and you can get some, you should not be intimidated by the pricing that they have on the sticker. For example, first book I was looking at towards the end of the day on Friday was A Strange Tales #1, a book I covet and want. You never see it in high grade. The guy had a 3.5, and when I asked him on the price, he was asking $2,600 on the book. He could tell from my look, my face, that wasn't the right price. We looked it up together. We saw that the last sold was like $1,470. And he goes, oh, that can't be right. That's probably an outlier. So then he insists on looking up in Overstreet, looks it up in Overstreet. Overstreet says the price should be about $1,375. And he goes, oh, wow, that book's really come down. He said, well, I could maybe come down to $1,700. Now, I didn't buy the book. He wasn't willing to come down any further. He tried selling me on why I should pay $1,700 for that $1,400 book. But I told him, hey, I appreciate him willing to look and willing to come down. And if he changes his mind, to reach out to me and gave him my information. I did the same thing in another booth with a different book. Ultimately, though, I turned around and went to a different booth where I picked up this book. This is a book on my list, or from my list of books to pick up. He said, hey, everything's on sale today. I said, great. I said, tell me about that book over there. And he pulls it down off the wall and he goes, oh, well, it's $800. So today, $700. And I was, I don't think that's right either. And so we looked it up and we agreed that, in fact, the market price on that book was far less. And he was willing, though, to come down to the market rate, and we pulled the trigger, and I picked up Aquaman #1 in a 5.5. Now, that's not his first appearance. It's not even his first solo appearance. I mean, it's his first issue, first solo title. His first solo story is here in Showcase 30 behind me, but this is his first issue of the first cover, and I decided, let's go ahead and pick that up. So, added to the pile. Now, my last two books, these were bundled. Both of them are raw. They will be pressed, cleaned, and probably graded at some point. Or at least one of them will be. These books, I'll tell you, his tagged price for the two books combined was $2,700. He wanted $2,700 these two books. I paid $1,100. Know your market. Be a good judge of books, especially when you're doing raw books. And especially if you're buying big books. Get to know the grading system and be comfortable having a conversation about them and pointing out, this gentleman didn't know a ton about grading. I educated him. I showed him the stuff. He basically is somebody who recently got a collection or several collections and just decided to get into the business. So anyways, we had this conversation. We worked out a deal. First book I picked up that was on the list was this one here. This is Hawkman #4, first appearance of Zatanna. Not the greatest cover in the world, but first character appearance of Zatanna. It's a book that's constantly climbing. Now, it's not a high grade book. This book is probably going to maybe max out about a 4.0. It has some long cover issues. It has some edge wear and such, but you know, the price was right when I could get it, pick it up and add it to the pile. Someday, maybe I'll upgrade it. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll even get it graded. I may leave it raw, continue to look for a graded one, and eventually move on from this one. But for right now, it's in the collection. The other book from this bundle, the one that I really wanted, and I was super happy to pick this up because I was talking to a different vendor about this exact same book. We couldn't come to a price, so I walked. This is a better graded copy, or a better copy. It's not graded yet, and it has much more potential. And that is Tomb of Dracula #10, the first appearance of Blade. Now, this book, as it sits right now, I think this is a 7.0. it has potential. Maybe it can get into the 8s. Miracle, it could even get as high as an 8.5. There's an outside chance. Realistically, solid clean and a magnificent pressing. I think it has a chance. 7.580. The jet, when we were talking about it, I was telling the guy, I said I think it's like a 7.075. That's what we based our pricing on. I based my pricing on a 7. He of course wanted to go 7.5 because there's a little bit of an escalation there. And I pointed out to him, I said that, hey, right now there's no way it's a 7.5. I started really nitpicking a lot of little micro creases and several very minor spine ticks that were color breaking, but I called out everything I could. And he goes, yeah, but with a cleaning or press, it could get better. I said, maybe it does, but that's out of my pocket. I got to pay to clean and press it. I got to pay to have it graded. So right now, we got to pay what it is now, not what it could be later. And so he agreed finally, and there we go. I picked up this copy of Tomb of Dracula 10, first appearance of Blade, and Hawkman 4 for a nice, tidy sum, $1,100 for the combo. Now, I saved up in order to do this haul. Like I said, I saved up in order to be able to afford this, paid cash with everything, and I knew that I wasn't going to Heroes Con. So the Heroes Cons where I normally buy big books like this, I was able to pick these up at WonderCon. I didn't force myself. I let the book still come to me, and I'm super happy with this haul, with how many books I was able to pick up. So to me, not only from a haul perspective was WonderCon phenomenal, but also from the homies from the Black Sheep Comic Club. And I'm looking off to the side, and I just realized I also forgot to show last bit. I did also pick up some independent books. I picked up some trade paperbacks for Lady Mechanica. I do like the artwork with Lady Mechanica, and I have a couple of the trade paperbacks. So I picked up the rest of the stack books that I needed. I had them all signed by the artist and by the Benitas, and then my wife must have taken them all over to the writer who is signing elsewhere, because all the books are now double signed, and I never took them over to it. So my wife was super sneaky like that. I love you, baby. And then last, on I was leaving, I also saw this. This was a gentleman was pitching his books, Rob Haynes Adventures, just some kind of classic kind of adventure detective stories. And he said each one of these is like an independent book and story, doesn't need to be read in any particular order. But you know, if you're going to put a 1 and a 2 on them, to me, that means I got to read them in order. Anyway, so I picked those up, support independent writer, artist, and sounded like it could be kind of fun. So there you go. That, it, WonderCon in the books. Hope to go again I'll be there next year. Who am I kidding? Hope to see you there next year. But no matter what, make sure you collect what you want and don't listen to anyone, including me. I'm just a fat man with a really fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.